Have you heard about human suffering in Bosnia? Can you imagine it? And what would you do if you know the person that you love, a family member, or someone that you know and admire, joined the human hunts? The whole world is talking about this right now. Italian journalist Ezio Cavazzini decided to investigate the Italians who took part in this horrifying human tragedy after watching the 2022 made documentary Sarajevo Suffering. As he said, there are many participants, and he reached a large number of Italians before going to the Milan prosecutor with the evidence he had. But Cavazzini is not the only person who approached the Milan prosecutor. Croatian journalist Domagoj Marketic came forward with a claim that is very hard to believe. The current president of Serbia, Aleksandar Vučić, spent 4 years on the sniper lines in Sarajevo. Marketic filed a lawsuit against Vučić with photos and other strong documents. So, was this human suffering unknown until 22? Were these claims really new? And where's the backstory of all this? I spent a lot of time trying to look at this issue objectively, and while researching, I realized that in the Sarajevo suffering, everyone, even if not directly, had a share in some way. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the darkest cases in our modern history, the Bosnian War. Before we begin, we should know about Yugoslavia, which was made up of 6 republics: Slovenia, Croatia, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Serbia, Montenegro, and Macedonia, founded by General Tito. While Tito was alive, the slogan was clear: brotherhood and unity. But when he died in 1980, the glue that held the country together dissolved. The biggest ethnic group in Yugoslavia was the Serbs. They were themselves as Tito's true heirs and controlled the strong Yugoslavian army. Any nation that opposed Yugoslav unity now had the Serbs standing in front of them. At that time, a young and charismatic Serbian politician rose to power. His name was Slobodan Milosevic. His motto was, "I will protect Serbs everywhere, and together we will build a great Serbia." But the idea of Great Serbia, did it begin in the 90s? Absolutely not. Serbian nationalism dates back to Ottoman and Austro-Hungarian times. The organization Crna Ruka, the Black Hand, founded by the Serbian general Dragutin Dimitrijević, known as Apis, assassinated Serbian King Alexander in 1903, who was known for his closeness to Europe. Apis improved relations with Russia and strengthened Serbian Slavic nationalism. Later in 1940, he trained Gavrilo Princip, the Bosnian Serb who killed Franz Ferdinand, and this started the First World War. The organization had one main principle: Great Serbia. The roots of this idea are deeper than you think. But Serbian nationalism wasn't the only issue in Yugoslavia. Croatian nationalism was rising as well at the same time. The father of the Croatians, President Franjo Tuđman, began his journey with the dream of an independent Croatian state. One of the places caught in the middle was Bosnia-Herzegovina. But Bosnia had a special structure. Bosnian Muslims called Bosniaks, Orthodox Christian Bosnian Serbs, and Catholic Bosnian Croats had lived side by side for hundreds of years. Sarajevo was truly known as the Jerusalem of Europe. But as Yugoslavia fell apart, each group wanted something different. Bosniaks mostly wanted an independent Bosnia. Bosnian Serbs wanted to stay united with Serbia, and some Bosnian Croats wanted to join Croatia. Meanwhile, Milosevic and Tuđman continued increasing the tensions. This time, Bosnia chose its own political leader, Alija Izetbegović, who believed in freedom for the people of Bosnia. He expressed his view at the Federation meeting on October 14, 1991. But after his speech, the leader of the Bosnian Serbs, Radovan Karadzic, reacted very harshly. He even said, "The Muslim people will disappear. You cannot stand against our armies." This was the final warning given to Izetbegovic and Bosnia before the war. But Izetbegovic made it very clear that he would not step back. In response, Karadzic declared Republik Srpska on February 9, 1992. And on March 1st, the people of Bosnia held a referendum. The majority voted for freedom. And although the decision was celebrated with joy, everyone knew dark days could come sooner. Life in Sarajevo continued normally, but when violence from mixed Serb Bosniak towns reached the capital, the youth reacted. On April 5, 1992, Bosnia, Croat and Serb young people came together in a march called "We Want to Live Together Peacefully." The crowd grew larger and larger, and at that moment, from the upper floors of the Holiday Inn, the city's biggest hotel, Serb snipers opened fire. Bosniak Suada Dilberovic and Serb Olga Vucic fell to the ground. These two women were the first civil victims of this war. People panicked and scattered. No one could understand what it was. And soon, everyone realized a very terrifying truth. Sarajevo was completely surrounded, and this siege would last for 1,425 days. Serb forces using tanks and artillery taken from the Yugoslav army positioned themselves on the mountains around Sarajevo. The city was completely surrounded, roads cut, electricity, water and phones shut down. Heavy weapons pointed directly at civilian areas. More than 300,000 people were literally trapped in a cage. The main boulevard where trams once passed gained a new name: Sniper Alley. And at this moment, the biggest mistake of Izetbegovic's political life appeared. There was no real Bosnian army, because Izetbegovic trusted the West too much, believing the Serbs were bluffing and they would not attack. This mistake led to 1,425 days of siege and more than 11,000 civilian deaths only in Sarajevo. Even today, Bosnians have different opinions about Izetbegovic's mistake. But the war had begun. Citizens, volunteers, police, and former soldiers of Sarajevo built barricades and defended their neighborhoods however they could. Living on upper floors was deadly. People moved to basements. To stay warm, they burned park trees, furniture, books, even the floors of their homes. And because so many people were killed while collecting water, they melted snow to drink. People also created their own survival rules in Sarajevo, like running in zigzags, avoiding certain streets, blocking windows with tapes, or mapping sniper positions. And everyone knew one rule: if the first person escaped a sniper, probably the second person could also pass, but the third person will not, because the sniper had already calculated the position and the timing. This is why no one in Sarajevo ever wanted to be the number 3. After all these happenings, the UN sent blue-helmet soldiers 3 months after the war began, taking control of the airport of Sarajevo for human aid. Now people walk behind the UN armored vehicles to avoid sniper free, but nothing truly improved. At this time, a strange pattern appeared. Sniper attacks increased on weekends especially. Many in the town were speaking about that they were people with the Serb snipers who were not soldiers. Locals called them even weekend warriors, means foreigners who came to kill people of Sarajevo just for entertainment, a real-life human suffering. This wasn't a new idea. In 2007, American volunteer John Jordan, who helped a lot of people during the siege in Sarajevo, testified at the Hague court that wealthy foreigners from multiple countries hunted women in Sarajevo. But no one, really no one, took it seriously. Inspired by these whispers, Slovenian director Miran Zupanic made a documentary, Sarajevo Safari. He later said, "If I didn't show what I learned to the world, I knew I could never return to a normal life." After the documentary came out, Zupanic received so many threats and hate, and even today, the film is very hard to find. A masked Slovenian intelligence officer in the documentary said he saw foreigners among Serb snipers speaking Italian, English, and French with different rifles. He said also every victim had different price. Women and soldiers cost medium. Children were the most expensive ones, and the elderly people could shoot for free. Even Serbian snipers invited him for some shots just for fun. Another Bosniak intelligence officer, Edin Subasic, confirmed the claims. He said they captured a Serb sniper who confessed everything. Wealthy Westerners paid huge amounts just to hunt humans. But I have to say something. In many documentaries, Serbs are shown as bloodthirsty monsters. First, we have to understand the difference between Serbs and the Bosnian Serbs. It's known that Bosnian Serbs got a backup from Serbia, but not everyone wanted this war. During the conflict, tens of thousands of people in Belgrade, Novi Sad, and other cities protested this war. Ne u može ime, not in my name. These were students, journalists, artists, teachers, opposition parties. They just organized Women in Black, Black Ribbon, the anti-war movement of Serbia, Radio B92 activists, Mother of Soldiers, Rock Against War, all marched for peace. These people did not want their countrymen and the government to kill their friends, neighbors, or beloved people. More than 200,000 young Serbs refused military service and left the country. Because they couldn't find enough soldiers, the army increasingly relied on snipers. The Milosevic government punished anti-war activists very harshly. They called them traitors. But these brave people, they didn't want to stand in the line with criminals together. So the ones who organized the human safari, the commanders who sold hunting tours, or the politicians who made this ugly war, all they have their names and all they have their responsibilities. This video is not about blaming a whole nation. It's about asking what certain individuals did. After the 1995 Dayton Peace Agreement, Bosnia and Herzegovina continues as the Federation of Bosnia and Herzegovina with Bosniak and Croat majority and Republika Srpska with Serbs majority. This is not a perfect system. The country still relies on an international high representative, currently a German diplomat, Mr. Schmidt. Bosniaks, Bosnian Croats, and Bosnian Serbs rarely come together to solve their problems. And the recent news from Bosnia is again worrying. Current leader of Republika Srpska, Milorad Dodik, is increasingly behaving like a new Karadzic. The problem is many Bosnian Serbs are thinking the world was unfair against them, and it's not too late for their dreams for great Serbia. There are still bullet holes on the walls of Sarajevo. Every year in Srebrenica, new bones are found, new graves opened. In many Bosnian villages, the male population never returned. The war took more than 100,000 lives. Meanwhile, some war criminals still walk proudly as heroes, and people accused of joining human safaris may still be living comfortable lives today. About the human safari, we can say something. Many people heard about it, many people saw it, and many people knew it, but so many people just did nothing. People like Miran Zupanic, Ezio Gavazzini, Domagoj Margetic, Milan's prosecutor Alessandro Cobis, all these brave souls give us hope for justice and humanity. What we want is simple. The truth must come out. Who went there? Who shot the people of Sarajevo? Who took money? Who looked away? From now on, I will follow the case of Serbian President Aleksandar Vučić closely and make a new video about the updates. Even if he is a president today, he must answer for what he did 30 years ago. As I end this video, let me ask you again, have you ever hunted a human Your answer is probably, of course not. So here is the real question. If someone you love, a family member, a politician you voted for, or an artist you admire, suddenly said, I watch people being shot through a scope in Sarajevo, or I allowed it to happen, what would you do? Write it in the comments. Let's discuss it together.